afternoon, evening, everybody. This is Jeremy from Twisted Tales, and today I have a very, very special guest. This gentleman is the man behind the iconic Winnie-the-Pooh mask of Blood and Honey. He is also a director of the film Bigfoot Primal Fear. I bring to you the amazing Craig David Dowsett.
Hey, Jeremy.
Good afternoon, Craig. Thank you very much for being on the show today. I know you're a very busy man and you're across the pond, and it's an honor and a privilege to have you on this afternoon.
It's nice to meet you. Thanks for having me on. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. So I figured we might as well start off when people who might not know you, if you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you first got into acting.
Yeah, so my name's Craig David Dowsett. I play Winnie-the-Pooh in Blood and Honey, which I'm most known for. I've also just directed a film called Bigfoot Primal Fear. So I got into all this industry back in COVID-19, actually, when everything was locked down. You were at home for a long time, and I started to think to myself, right, when eventually the world comes back, what do I want to do? How do I want my future to kind of like unfold and carry on? So I've got an extensive martial arts background, and I've always wanted to do background fight scenes, action scenes in movies. That was like one of my dreams. So I was like, okay, let's just try and pursue that, see if I can get into that or how far I can go. I reached out to a lot of people, and I was fortunate to train with some really well-known guys in the industry who do that for a living. So under their wing, it's one of those industries where you meet more and more people, and then kind of like opportunities unfold through those people. And then I got offered an acting role. It's a bit like a support acting role in a sci-fi film. So it's gone completely off from martial arts into actual acting, just through opportunities that came about. So I got a support acting role in a sci-fi film called the Area 51 Incident. And then kind of from that, you kind of get the bug, really. You're like, you're on set, all the lights, the sounds, the smoke machines, the cameras. You kind of like really get hooked. You get the bug. And I was like, this is great. You know what? Let's see how far I can go with this. See what other opportunities I can get. And then through that same production company, I kept in contact and said to them, what you're doing next? Do you need any guys? And they came back to me and said, hey, we're doing a Winnie-the-Pooh film. So I'm sitting there reading it, scratching my head, thinking, okay. They were like, do you want to play Pooh? And I was like, wow, okay, this is both crazy and intriguing. So got sent the script, read through that. I was like, yeah, this is going to be totally nuts, totally bonkers. The world's never seen anything like this before. And then I was all in, and the rest is history, as they say.
That is awesome. And as a matter of fact, the Area 51 incident, I actually caught that yesterday. I was perusing through, and I was like, you know what? I haven't seen this. I kind of want to check this thing out. And so you played like a military guard, or was it?
I play military guard. Yeah, I get killed by the aliens. Yeah, I was only in it for like the first 20 minutes, but it was my first kind of like supporting role in anything. So it was a really good achievement for me.
That is awesome. So I wanted to ask you right off the bat. So when you got involved in acting, and you said it was around right at the beginning of pretty much the COVID-19 era, was it hard to get into it because of all the worldwide restrictions that were going on and things like that at that point? Or
it was whilst the restrictions were in progress, that was when I was networking and reaching out, phone calls, emails, video calls. Then as soon as the restrictions lifted and I could start going out across the country, training with people, learning, it kind of became a lot easier from there.
That's awesome. I'm sure with your martial arts background, it must be a lot of fun being able to do some action scenes here or there for sure.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me do any kung fu with Winnie-the-Pooh though.
Kung Fu Pooh. I don't know that. That'd be an interesting spin-off at some point. You never know.
Yeah.
So after you did the Area 51 incident, and that's when you were approached with the Winnie-the-Pooh. Now, everybody knows that character is ingrained in child's memories from hell when I was a young child. I'm 53 years old, and we're talking way back in the day. Pooh and Piglet and all the gang were around even back then. So when you got that, you must have been like, okay, this is an interesting twist on this whole thing.
Yeah, massively interesting twist. Because learning about the character going into public domain, then they were like, we're going to turn him into a horror character. I was like, yeah, that's gonna really go wild. This Winnie the Pooh. He's I think he's the second highest grossing children's character of all time behind Mickey Mouse. So it's like it's a huge character to kind of like put a different spin on. Turning this childhood lovable bear into a giant Michael Myers in essence.
No, and that's true. I mean, some of the scenes in that movie are truly cool, and especially seeing that you're doing that role and Pooh doesn't really speak. I mean, I saw the whole thing where they explained why they don't talk anymore because they got angry and all of that. Did you feel comfortable behind the mask when you actually took on the character? Or
yeah, I mean, acting in a mask is always hard because you have to put your body language into it more than your facial expressions because they can't be seen. But yeah, I think it was the right way to go, having him as the more silent killer type, because trying to make Winnie the Pooh's voice sound a bit menacing would be a bit difficult. You can imagine he goes to kill someone. Oh bother! Wouldn't quite have the same effects. So yeah, no, having him more the silent killer type, I think works well.
No, it definitely did, and I mean, they had us so they grew from these small little animals to these giant bloodthirsty killers, and
yeah.
I think it was really cool because, I mean, it couldn't have been put better together. I love horror of all types, over the top, just the way things are done nowadays, especially with all the practical effects being brought back and like the quote unquote kill scenes or the money scenes are all not CGI ridden like they were for several years at one point. And that had to be kind of cool to be able to do all those kind of things too.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a huge fan of practical effects, because they're generally just fun to do. You're making these props, you're making them work rather than it's just computer generated. There's a lot more fun behind doing the practical effects and having them in the scenes. So yeah, I'm a massive fan of that. I don't think there's enough of it these days because of modern technology. So much is heavily CGI'd in most films of all genres. But yeah, big fan of practical effects.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Terrifier franchise brought those effects back big time. I feel, and then like a lot of the other films recently have decided that they want to go back to that because there was a good stretch, 10 years ago where most of the major franchises were all dealing with like CGI style things, and it kind of takes the fun out of it. I think. I mean, it's
yeah, it takes the fun out of it, and it increases your production costs as well.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I mean, now that you're on the production side and you're on the directing side, and you put your thing together, if it was CGI, it would be an absolute like just over the top nightmare. I'm thinking.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of curious. You've done sci-fi, you've done Winnie the Pooh, and who were some of your acting influences when you first got in? Like, did you find certain actors that you found inspiration from when you became an actor?
Yeah, so I'm a big horror fan myself, huge horror fan. So even playing a horror Winnie the Pooh, I took my inspiration for his movements through the likes of Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, those kind of characters myself. So yeah, I love all those franchises. Robert Englund's the best. He's the godfather of horror in my eyes. He's awesome. You've got Nick Castle, Kane Hodder. There's so many great names. So I took a lot of inspiration from them in my horror acting kind of world.
It's pretty cool, especially I mean, you mentioned Kane Hodder, who I'm a huge fan because he made Jason so more physical than any of the other actors.
Yeah, he made him a beast.
Oof. I can go back and watch those all the time, and it's an amazing experience. Oh
Yeah.
my god! So when you were getting ready to do Winnie the Pooh, did you have to do like you have to like mentally prepare for that? What kind of preparations did you do to get into like becoming a masked character? I've always wondered that because it's
Yeah, I mean, I'd never wore a mask before in an acting role before that role, so there was a bit of the unknown going into it. Once you got the costume on for a while, you kind of adapt and get used to it.
yeah,
The main challenge was how to make Winnie the Pooh scary in the first place, because he's fun loving, goofy, lovable bear. So it's like, how do you make that terrifying, menacing, especially as you can't use your facial expressions and words, so it's just all
right.
through body language, trying to make him cross between the Terminator and an unstoppable bear, so that was the biggest change, because it's not like you can go and watch something like that for reference, because something with that character's never been done before. So it's like, wow, how can I do this?
No, I agree with. I mean, using like Jason for like the character movements, stuff like monsters like Pumpkinhead from the old school days, or like just like giant like hulking creatures, using their body movements, and definitely must be an amazing point of reference for
Yeah,
your
brute
character.
strength and violence. That's those kind of characters.
I mean, everything about that character, honestly, like even when you had the face and the honey thing, and it was like dripping down off of him, and he's got that crazy look in his eyes, and you know, it's so much fun. Anybody who hasn't seen it, and you should see it, it is so much fun to actually get out there and just with the creation of all these old childhood characters being used in horror these days, like your Steamboat Willies and your Mickey Mouses and all the Disney characters that keep dropping off their originals, and then the new
Yeah,
ones keep coming out.
yeah,
That's crazy. You
yeah.
know,
That's the beauty of public domain. All these old characters are now starting to creep back into public domain, because it's just been so many years, and the licenses expire and the rights expire, and luckily filmmakers like us can then use them and bend them to our will.
oh, absolutely. So that now, since you were on the ground level and you helped create the aura of Winnie the Pooh and the movements and the scariness of the character, and how it's branched out into not just a franchise, but now there's a whole universe. They call it the Poohniverse, obviously, and with Blood and Honey 1 and 2, as well as the movies like Bambi the Reckoning and the Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare. And I know there's a Pinocchio one coming out. Did you
Yeah.
think that when you did this original film that it was going to become this whole subgenre of the horror?
No, I don't think any of us could have ever imagined how this was going to go and how well it was going to go. It's low budget. I think they shot it for to go to like DVD, and then as soon as the world got a look at the first images of me in that mask and costume, it kind of broke the internet overnight, which was quite a thing. It was quite a thing. I remember turning my phone on, so many notifications on my phone the next morning. It had gone viral worldwide. CNN were posting about it. All the news companies over here in the UK. It was all the newspapers. That image was everywhere. And it was just, it was creepy. Yes, it was creepy. It was crazy. No, none of us could have ever expected it to go that big,
Right.
which was amazing, And then all of a sudden, we've got a worldwide cinema release. Mexico City for the premiere, Los Angeles for the US one. We had one in Amsterdam, one in Glasgow for the UK. And then lo and behold, it started this whole new genre off of childhood horror films. Basically, everyone is doing it now. Everyone that can do it is doing it. So to be involved in the very first kind of like pioneering film of a new genre is insane. It's awesome.
I was gonna say, I mean, you must be over the moon excited because you are one of the originals who helped get this. If it wasn't for that movie being as cool as it is, it wouldn't. There would never have been the genre would never have exploded the way that it has.
No, and I also think it was a massive win for indie filmmakers on that work on low budgets, because if we can do that, who else can do what they want to do with different characters? It just
Right.
shows you've got to have that character and you've got to have that story and idea. But yeah, it was a massive win for indie film in my eyes.
It's really cool because I mean, to me, indie films are just films that feel like they have more heart and soul behind them than a lot of the big budget style ones because you're really giving it your all because you want it to get bigger than it actually is versus having a gigantic budget and you're like, well, maybe we'll break even, maybe we won't, but you want an indie film to really just explode.
That's right. Yeah, it's hard work. It's blood, sweat, and tears. You got budget restraints. Like all these huge companies and millions of dollars budget, and they've got
Right.
hundreds of people working on it. With an indie film, there's like 10, 15 of you kind of thing, and a very small budget. So everyone really puts so much hard work
Yeah.
into it that you know it's when it becomes successful, it's a massive win for us.
That is cool. That is really cool, and I know that we're both going to be in Maine this year at the Maine Paranormal and Horror Convention. You're going to be doing your amazing in costume photo op. So tell me a little bit about that. What can the people expect to see with this whole thing?
Yeah. So they'll see me in the Screen News costume in all its glory. Yeah, big knife in hand. So yeah, come and have a cool photo. We can do any kind of crazy pose that you want. So yeah, it's going to be good fun.
That is awesome. Because I definitely plan on getting my ticket for to do the photo op because I think it'd be real fun to do something like that for sure. Because
Yeah, that's good.
oh man, that is really cool. Craig put so much hard work into this. I agree. I've loved everything that I've watched so far. And I know we're about to dive into the next piece of business that I wanted to talk to you about, which was the your directorial debut. I wanted to talk about Bigfoot Primal Fear. So, if you wouldn't mind giving us some detail about the film, and then we can start getting into it.
Yeah, so Bigfoot Primal Fear, which is available now worldwide on Apple TV and Amazon Prime, tells the story of some campers going on a little vacation into the woods, not knowing that they are not alone out there. As time goes on, they kind of realise they're not alone very quickly, and they get picked off one by one and are being hunted by something very, very terrifying. So, without giving too much away, obviously, I know the film's out, but I don't want to give too many spoilers away for people that haven't seen it.
No, that's
Uh,
cool.
yeah, go check it out. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, my directional debut, which I worked very, very hard on, because going from acting to directing, obviously, I had zero experience as a director
Right.
or as a writer, because I wrote the film as well. So yeah, it was a huge learning curve, but I've had so much fun with it.
So, I wanted to ask, what made you decide that you wanted to jump from acting into directing? And now this was your whole creation. You wrote this whole thing and you created this. What made you decide you wanted to jump from acting and then getting into the actual behind the scenes and the creation of a film?
Yeah, I love that creative control that you can have as a film director, especially if you've wrote it as well. So that's what I wanted, really. I wanted to see, it's like a test for me, really, this one, to see if I can actually do it and pull it off. Because like I said, I had zero experience in writing or directing, but I've always wanted to make my own movie. And being a big cryptid fan, big Bigfoot fan as well, I was like, okay, let's blend the two together. Let's see what I can come up with story wise. Get a cast together and grab the camera and go into the woods and see what I could do, see what I could would create. but it's been awesome. I've had so much fun. I've learned so much from it as well. So I'm quite blessed and humbled to be on this journey.
It is very cool. Like I said, I just checked it out yesterday. I had the day off. Very rare that I have a day off, and I wanted to sit back and I was like, you know what, I really want to see this because I had seen it numerous times mentioned on the IMDb, and I knew you were coming on to it. And I really wanted to talk about it because I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a very interesting spin on the Bigfoot genre of movies. Because it comes at it from a different perspective.
Yeah. That's kind of where I wanted to go. I didn't want to do a really long-winded film and dive too much into the depth of the characters. I just wanted to put a load of people in the forest. They all get killed by Bigfoot, and terror and horror ensue, and have a wild ride all the way throughout it. That was the plan.
Oh no, it's definitely cool, and I mean, I know you can definitely. I'm sure you must have a lot of other projects that you're thinking about, basing it, maybe even branching off of it, and possibly doing another one based on maybe a sequel or something along those lines. It definitely feels like you have a lot more meat on the bone with that particular project.
Yeah, because I even I did my research with Bigfoot, and I also got in experts in the cryptozoology world in the film as well. So from the UK, I had Daniel Lee Barnett, who's one of the top 10 cryptozoologists in the world. I met him at a Comic-Con actually before I was halfway through filming the film actually, and I met him at Comic-Con, and he had just had a documentary come out called My Bigfoot Life. So I saw that and I was like, oh, I'm doing a Bigfoot horror film. So we got chatting, and I said, do you want to have some fun? Come on board the film and see what we can do. He's like, yeah, absolutely. And then through him, he knew Ryan RPG Golembeski, who was in Expedition Bigfoot and Finding Bigfoot, the Discovery series where they go out looking and exploring, trying to track and hunt Bigfoot down. And we also had DJ Brewster from Alaskan Killer Bigfoot as well. So getting these people involved, they shared their wealth of knowledge with me about how Bigfoot would move, how he would react, what he would do to certain scenarios. So I had that as well gone into the film. So yeah, I kind of put a bit of research into it and had these experts help me. So it's great.
That is really cool. So I take it, are you a big cryptid fan?
Yeah.
It sounds like from you could do all sorts of movies on cryptids. There's hundreds and hundreds of them out there, and
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
you can definitely have fun with that genre for sure.
Yeah.
I myself, I'm more on the ghost hunting part side of the paranormal. I mean, I embrace all of it. I think the cryptids are really cool too. Especially seeing that they use a lot of them in movies these days.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, there's nothing more terrifying than a kind of myth or legend coming to life in a dark environment and scaring the crap out of everyone.
No, that is definitely true. So how long did it take you to actually film the Bigfoot movie?
So I wrote the film in 2024, end of 2024. I started production January 25, wrapped on that in August because I wasn't shooting constantly. It was more sporadic days around my schedule and the cast schedule because I fly around the world a lot, doing a lot of Comic-Cons. So it was kind of like in between all those. Hey,
there he is.
There he is. There's the man. So wrapped in August. We premiered the trailer in Pennsylvania at a Bigfoot conference. That was quite well received, so we were really happy with that. And then we had the premiere in London on Valentine's Day this year.
Oh wow!
And then worldwide release 29th of May, just gone.
That is awesome. That really is. I mean, when you first saw it on the screen, you must have been like, "Oh my god, it's actually here!" And
yeah. I mean, when I first saw it at the premiere, when we done the screen test in the cinema,
Yeah.
seeing it come up on a big, huge screen. It was a really, really kind of like tingling, happy moment where you're just like, oh my god, it's there. Your creation is on the big screen in front of you. And then even now, if I go on the Apple TV or the Amazon Prime app and you see it come up, it's quite surreal. You kind of have to like look twice. You're like, oh my god, it's my film. So yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling because a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of hard work goes into it.
It definitely is cool, because sometimes you never get a chance to actually like see something that you work so hard on actually on screen, on a big screen, nonetheless, not just like a regular TV screen or a monitor or something, but actually getting a chance to see it on a big screen with maybe like a live audience watching it with you and stuff like that. That's gonna be a little bit exhilarating.
That's what I'm looking forward to in September.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that for sure. That so at the main paranormal horror convention that Jeff, I just saw. They just popped up in the feed. You're going to be doing 2 live showings of the Bigfoot.
That's correct. Yeah, one on the Saturday and one on the Sunday.
That's going to be cool. So,
really
what should people expect if they decide to grab a ticket and come and sit down with you and watch it?
Yeah, just expect a fast-paced wild ride, really, from start to finish. And my directional debut. So come and check it out. Come and see what I've created. Then I'll do a Q&A at the end, and you can ask any questions and anything you want to know, and we'll have some fun.
That is awesome. It's just getting a chance to do that not just once but twice, and it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you're a fan of cryptids. When did you actually figure out that you were a fan? Like, were you as a child, or was this?
Yeah, probably as a child. Probably once I watched Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, I love that movie. That movie.
Yeah, love that movie. That's great. Yeah. Probably since then, I would say.
Oh, Gwen just asked if you've ever had a cryptid experience.
Have I ever had a cryptid experience? I haven't personally myself, but I know a lot of people who have, and I've seen a lot of footage as well documented. So, true believer.
Have you ever gone squatching, gone out into the woods?
I haven't. I would love to, but then sometimes you think to yourself, "Oh my God, will I be able to handle it? Will it be like too frightening if you're like in the pitch black and then catch a glimpse of something? Your fear factor sets in. But no, I think it would be a lot of fun to do something like that.
Yeah, I've seen it on TV where they like knock on the trees and there's something actually did knock back. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Or they see something on the infrared, like the heat source in the distance, and you're like, oh my God.
Emma says you have 2 ghosts in your house.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
We have 2 ghosts, and we also have 2 Ouija boards.
Oh wow. I'm a ghost guy. I'd love to hear about it. Like, so what kind of interactions have you had with the ghosts in your house? Have you had any?
Me, myself, I haven't, but my wife has. She can see, I think it's an old man stands at our bedroom doorway. And I think there's an old lady downstairs. Yeah.
Oh, wow. that must be interesting to have to deal with all of that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
Oof, man. Ugh. Man, I'm trying to think. Oh, wait, Jeremy and I are both ghost hunters, so we love that kind of stuff. Yes, I definitely do. I'm definitely gearing more into the cryptid style of things as well.
Yeah. Talking of ghosts, so I'm currently filming my next horror film called Dracula versus Frankenstein's Monster.
Oh, wow.
We filmed some of that at a place called Chillingham Castle in the UK in Northumberland. Okay. And that is apparently the most haunted castle in the United Kingdom. It's a 13th century Grade 1 listed fortress.
Oh my God, that must be a beautiful
so
thing.
Much history, and apparently it's extremely haunted. There's a dungeon and everything. So we filmed there, and there was some noises that couldn't be explained. Yeah.
All right, so here's a good question. If you were able to be in any horror movie ever, past or future, what would you be in, or what character would you like to
Uh,
portray?
Michael Myers.
Really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, just
definitely.
a big fan of the Halloween
Yeah,
franchise.
big fan, big fan. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I don't think I'm quite big enough for Jason Voorhees because he's a large character. But yeah, Michael Myers, absolutely.
it's amazing that you mentioned that because with Jason Voorhees, he's been everywhere between like 5'10" and 7 feet tall, depending on the
Yeah,
actor. Because if you go back to the original ones, like Part Two, Part Three, Part Four, they're all smaller. Well, not small, obviously, but when you get into like Kane Hodder, who was I think around like 6 feet,
yeah,
um, Tyler Mane is done, and he's like, or I'm not, I think, or Ken Kressinger was the Jason versus Freddy, and he was a giant of a human being as well.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I guess it all depends on your telling of Jason. It could be big, it could be small. I
True.
mean,
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
just like both of us are big fans of Freddy Krueger, and in the
Oh yeah.
remake, the poor remake that they put poor Jackie Earl Haley in, and he was small, and the cringe
Yeah.
in your face is pretty much the way I felt when I saw that.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Yeah. That's not one for the to be remembered.
No, but it is. I guess it's a telltale because I think they're redoing the franchise yet again, coming up. At
Yeah,
some,
I've heard a few things. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it won't be Robert Englund because he's already said he's too old. He doesn't want to do it anymore. So
He's got such a legacy that he probably just wants to leave it how it is, because sometimes doing remakes it can be your undoing. It can not go very well. And if you've already got that such a great legacy in the past, he's probably, maybe why risk it? So yeah, obviously he's got his own reasons, but we'll
no
we'll
doubt.
see what they can do with it.
So in Winnie the Pooh, were you in the second one as well? Because you actually have credit on the in the cast on the on
Yeah, I
the.
think there was a little flashback scene or something in it, so I
Oh,
got credit
okay.
with that. But no, it was the so they basically, after the success of the first film, uh, they got a lot bigger budget for the sequel,
Right.
um, and Reese could do what he wanted to do in the first one and the second one with a bigger budget. So he wanted to recast, get bigger characters, have Pooh be more your 6'6", 7 foot massive menacing figure, bigger screen presence, as they say on screen. So that's the route they went down with it. As Hollywood, how many Michael Myers has there been, how many Jason Voorhees, and it happens in franchises. So they did what they wanted to do with their vision with it. So that's fine. I mean, I'm happy I'm the OG. So that's great.
Absolutely. I was just curious because I had seen that you were listed in the cast and crew for the second one. I'm like, oh man, that would have been great if you had actually gotten the role for both of them. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
No,
yeah.
and that they brought in the other characters. They brought back Owl. They brought Tigger back into it. So I mean, it's obvious that they want to keep going with all of that
Yeah,
stuff.
they're currently filming number 3.
Really.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if they've wrapped already, but like a few weeks ago I saw they were still filming number 3. So keep an eye out for that one.
That's amazing. So you said you've been traveling around doing all sorts of conventions all over the place, and
Yeah, yeah. I've been fortunate to be booked as a guest on some of the biggest shows in the world. I think over the last 3 years, I've done 55 or 58 shows worldwide.
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
I agree with Colin. You will always be the OG Pooh.
Thanks, Colin.
That is fantastic. Yeah, hopefully you can get some more stuff within the Pooniverse. I'd love to see you back in that whole thing.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I love working with those guys. They're great, and like you say, they've created this whole new. They call it the Twisted Childhood universe. So they've created this whole new universe themselves, like you say. So they've got the Bambi film, The Reckoning. They've got Peter Pan, Neverland's Nightmare. They've got Pinocchio about to drop. Which Cricket's voiced over by Robert Englund, which is huge. It's amazing. So they're doing an amazing job And
It's really
yeah,
cool that they've actually warped my childhood cartoons into something that
yeah,
is just
yeah. Why not?
um,
That's what it's all about. That's what films are about. You know, you
I
using that
agree.
imagination, using those characters. That's the beauty of filmmaking. It's you know it's a film. It's make believe. You can do anything you want, and the audience can lap it up.
Yeah, even like I saw recently Popeye the Slayer, man. I was like, my God.
Yeah,
Whew.
yeah. There's been the meme one, which I think that was David Howell Thornton, wasn't it?
I gotta tell you, I love that version of the Grinch. I love stuff like that. I love characters. The more
Yeah.
over the top the characters are, I love it. You know, and but yeah, I mean, yeah, the mean one. If anybody hasn't seen that, that is an amazing take on the Grinch for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like I said, that's the beauty of public domain. Once those characters become unlocked,
Yeah,
as you say, you know, filmmakers are there ready to pounce and put their take on it.
well, that's cool. So, with all your martial arts background, and do you have you been like working on trying to like get do people come up to you and try to get your advice for like fighting scenes and stuff like that in films too, or
To be honest, once I started the journey of more acting and that side of it, the kind of like for me, my martial arts kind of like took a step back. That and I'm getting old as well, as you can tell by the grey hairs appearing. I'm getting a bit old and unflexible. So yeah, my martial arts was kind of like took a step back. And I'm concentrating more now on acting roles and directing my own movies.
right?
That being said, I am directing a action movie called Retribution. I've already done a few shoots on that. I'm filming some more this month. That is like a bit like a John Wick films, guns, knives, martial arts, yeah, chaos. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. So because I've got that martial arts background, I've got the vision of how I want the fight scenes to go. So that does help in that respect.
That is cool. I mean, it's obvious that you have a lot of experience, and I think that with directing, you can mold the scenes to what you would find more believable than some of the.
Yeah, yeah. And being a massive film fan in general, I kind of like I sit there and I think, you know, what would I want to see in a film
Right.
from a spectator fan point of view? I'm like, all right, what would I want to see in a film? How would I want to see this done? So I kind of use my imagination to interpret how I'm going to do the scenes and shoot the scenes to the best of my ability and budget. So yeah.
Right. I mean, it's definitely convenient because I mean, you having that experience, you don't need to hire like fight coordinators and things like that because you can actually do all of that yourself. So you can save yourself a lot of time and energy on that end of it.
Yeah, and I'm fortunate to have the guys involved in the films that I do. A lot of them have got an extensive martial arts background as well,
Right.
so that really helps. So they can put their input into it, fight moves, stunts. So yeah, it makes it a lot easier. It makes my job a lot easier having awesome cast like members like that to help me out.
That is awesome. And at the end of your Bigfoot movie, the end theme song. I mean, I'm a huge heavy metal fan, hardcore fan. Who actually did it? I mean, the music is actually it's a really cool song. I when I was checking it out, I was rather impressed.
Thank you. Yeah, I love the ending song. That's awesome. That was created by Craig Lee Barnett.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I
so
wasn't.
he's
I mean, I'm a huge heavy metal fan, hardcore rock fan. It's just my favorite genre. So when I
yeah, yeah, that was created by him, so he did an amazing job on that. Who he's a very good friend of mine who I am co-directing a horror paranormal film called Devilman's Ditch later on this year. So keep an eye out for that on our stories and social media, and we'll give you as many snippets and stills as we can as we
man,
go.
that's pretty. Sounds like you got a lot of hands in the directorial thing
Oh
going on
yeah,
there.
I mean, for me, I've got a whole catalogue of films I want to do that I'm working my way through. I've started Retribution, as I say, which is going off of horror. It's more action, martial arts kind of style. then I'm halfway through Dracula versus Frankenstein's monster, which is back to horror, and it's those two icons kind of like really going at it, pitted against each other, a bit like in the style of Freddy versus Jason.
I love
So
it.
I'm really enjoying that at the moment. That's looking really good. So I'm very, very happy with that. I'm hoping to get it out for Halloween if I can. We'll see. We'll see how the months roll by. We've got co-directing Dead Woman's Ditch with Craig Barnett. That's starting in August. I've got Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf, which is a horror werewolf film.
Nice.
Got that to start. We've got Karma, which is kind of like a espionage revenge tale. And there's many more on the list that I'm gonna work my way through.
That's amazing. I want to go real quick and just comment on the Dracula versus Frankenstein's monsters, because I am a horror fan, but I'm talking like all the way back to the Universal monsters of Dracula, the Invisible Man, and even like the old school Frankenstein, Werewolf, and all of those old classic black and whites. Even Nosferatu, when the silent film Nosferatu, and all the way up. So to hear that you're actually bringing back a couple of iconic characters to have them battle each other, that sounds really, really cool.
Oh yeah, I've always wanted to do that with those two characters. So I'm having so much fun creating that storyline. I actually dropped the first production stills today from some of the shoots we've done. So go and check those out on my social medias, and you'll see some of the locations and some of the stills of what's going on and what we're doing.
That's actually pretty cool. I've always been fascinated with the vintage characters, and then it's like they're timeless, because you can make a Dracula film nowadays and people will flock to it. Anything with Frankenstein's monster, werewolves are super popular still to this day. Even with Guillermo del Toro did like a werewolf movie a few years ago. That was pretty mind blowing as well. So it's like, that's the one thing I love about horror, Craig, is that it's endless, and the ideas can be endless.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no holds barred. It's literally, you can do anything you want with horror. That's the beauty of it. Anything with the characters, you can make it as scary and frightening as possible, as gory as you want. You can literally just go wild. So that's why I love horror.
You can break out Krampus versus Santa Claus if you wanted to do like
absolutely. Yeah. If the characters are there, you can pit anyone against each other. Just have fun with it. Yeah,
it's awesome. It is really truly cool. Oh my god. Yeah, man. So you're a horror fan like I am, and so so as you said, Michael Myers is like your favorite, right? Growing up.
Yeah.
Who are some of the other horror characters, like as far as the franchises that you've enjoyed over the years?
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, definitely right up there. Also sci-fi horror, Aliens, the Predator films. Yeah, I love sci-fi. I probably watched Aliens way too young. I think that kind of upset me as a child a little bit. Yeah, I think I watched that as I was far too young to watch that. That was terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, do you still watch a lot of horror movies nowadays?
Absolutely. When I can. I mean, my watch list is huge because I'm always so busy, but I try and keep up and catch up where I can. Yeah.
So thank God for streaming services. You can catch just about anything anywhere.
No, that's great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the is it Obsession that's just come out, just been released. That's another indie film that apparently is doing very, very well. So that's good for them. So I'm looking forward to checking that out.
That's gonna be awesome, man. This has been an amazing interview today. I really. Oh wait, would you like to do a sci-fi? Well, he has done a sci-fi film with the Area 51.
Yeah, I would like to do a sci-fi film, but they're quite tricky on a low budget because you really need a studio basically to set dress and probably a lot of CGI, things like that. So that's quite budget unfriendly sci-fi film. So I would like to do one in the future if I can. But yeah, for now I'll just stick to my practical effects and my horror.
Now, I know it's a subgenre, and we've definitely talked about Nightmare on Elm Street. But what about like horror comedy? Any interest like in like doing like a horror comedy? Because it seems to be, people enjoy a little bit of a laugh and then get the hell scared out of them in the process.
Yeah, I could explore that down the lines. Now you say that, it could be something. Yeah, I'll see how the journey goes. See if
Yeah.
people are enjoying my films to start before I branch off into too many genres.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, but just it seems like you have a multitude of different films that you're looking forward to exploring.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely. Yeah. Just trying to put my little mark on indie horror, see what I can do. Because I've got quite a imagination and a little bit of experience on film sets and acting roles to help kind of like my creative output. So yeah, I've got so much to do, so much coming up. So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm exhausted already.
You must have a stack of like scripts hanging around.
Yeah, yeah. But that's one of the hard things because I'm writing them myself as well. You've
Right.
got to find that time, that quiet time to write them. Then you've got all the planning of the film shoots with the cast and the crew, then editing the footage afterwards.
Right.
Then the next thing I know, I'm off to Comic Con somewhere, and then come back and do it all over again. So yeah, it's exhausting, but I'm enjoying it. I'm just humble to be on the journey and getting the opportunities that I have. So yeah, it's good.
That is cool. That is very cool. So, oh, there we go. There's a poster.
There we go.
Gwen was definitely trying to find one, and it is amazing.
Yeah, I'm
And
so looking forward to this show. It's going to be so much fun. It's got some amazing guests there. I'm sure
oh
the
yeah,
vendors are going to be absolutely awesome. And yeah, it's going to be a fantastic weekend, and I can't wait. We can't wait.
September 12th and 13th, 2026 this year. Last year's event was huge. They had a ton of people show up for last year's event, and I'm I'm thinking that this year is going to be even bigger because Jeff and Ashley worked so hard on these conventions and getting amazing people and people like yourself. I can't wait to actually see the interactions with the fans coming up. And are you going to have like 8x10s of different pictures on your table as well
Oh,
for
absolutely. Yeah, 8x10s. I'm going to have DVDs of Bigfoot Primal Fear on sale. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
what's really one thing is I kind of wish that they had done Funko Pops of the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey characters because I mean,
I
me being a
know.
Funko collector, I love the damn things, and I'm sitting there going, I went looking, I'm like, did they even make them? I'm like, no, they're all just a cutesy Pooh. I'm like, I don't want a cutesy Pooh.
No, you want the horror poo. I know that would have been amazing, and I would love someone to make a kind of Funko Pop of my Bigfoot Primal Fear
That'd be
Bigfoot
cool
character.
too.
That would be so cool. So if anyone's watching this and that
Yeah.
does can mass produce and create their own, DM me because I would love to do a kind of collaboration and a project of having my own Funko Pop for my own character that I created. That would be a dream come true. That'd be amazing.
I gotta tell you, Craig, when I was looking up like merch for Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, somebody actually there is a Winnie the Pooh action figure, but it was going for like $350 or higher on like eBay and stuff like
Yeah,
that. I'm like,
yeah.
what on earth is
I've had a few of those come up to my table on some shows for me to sign, and
wow.
yeah, they're awesome. They're impressive. They're quite big. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're expensive to buy. Yeah, but yeah, I've signed all sorts. I've got amazing fans that bring me up some amazing things that they've handmade. Down to like paintings and dolls and things for me to sign. So yeah, I'm so lucky to have an amazing fan base that bring me these cool and crazy things because each show brings new fans and new gifts and things that they've made for me to sign. So it's always exciting.
So do you have a collection of your own as far as the
I,
keepsakes from
yeah,
Pooh
yeah.
and things like that?
it's kind of having to make way a bit for other stuff because it was taking over the house. Yeah, my wife Emma was like, "Yeah, we need to put some of that in the cupboard because it's taken over the whole house." So yeah, there was like a shrine to it everywhere, but now we're having to move some out of the way. But yeah.
Oh, so Gwen wanted to know what events you're going to be at this summer.
Oh wow, yeah, okay. So so I've got a little break now for filming and things for the next month or so. Then in August, I'm at Smoky Mountain Terror in Tennessee, and then from there I go to Jess Traveling Board Show, the main paranormal and horror con. Then after that, I'm at South Carolina for the SC Horror Con.
Oh wow.
October, I've got the Wales, the Cardiff Comic Con. I've got one in Germany. I've got Strange Little Obsessions. That's in September as well. Yeah, I've got a whole list, a whole diary full. I think I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about another 8 or 9 shows left this year.
That's amazing, man. You know, and between that and trying to work on your directing and getting everything going, you get a chance to sleep at all, I wonder at that point.
Yeah, I don't sleep much.
Yeah, and so how can your fans find you, like websites or whatnot?
Yeah, so primarily on Instagram. So I have my actor's account, which is at Craig David Dowsett, and then I have my production company, which is at CD Productions Company.
That's awesome. You know, your list of shows and so appearances in magazines are definitely must be hard to keep up with all of it, you know. And
I have to definitely have a diary because the older I get, the more things I forget. So I rely on my diary to be like, right, what's tomorrow? What's going on tomorrow? And so
downtime must be almost an impossible thing at this point.
Yeah, but it's great. It's good because it's getting exposure out for the films I've been in and the films that I'm directing. So it's good to get the word out and get the reach out to people to watch what I'm creating and get their feedback, see what they think, and see what they want to see in the next production.
That's awesome. So I had a couple of questions I wanted to ask you, kind of joking around, a little bit of lighthearted, fun questions. One of them, if you were able to put the iconic mask back on and transform back into Winnie-the-Pooh, what character would you like to face off against one-on-one on screen?
Donald Duck.
Oh man, that would be kind of cool.
He's angry all the time. He's one angry duck, isn't he? He's always like, "Arr!"
I haven't seen him pop up in any kind of a horror franchise. I mean, I know that the original version is out in public domain, right? I believe.
I think so.
Dropped.
I think so.
I know OG Goofy is out there.
Yeah, OG Goofy's out there. Yeah, the very early image, early stage Goofy. Yeah,
I think Donald dropped too. I think Donald dropped maybe like a year or two ago.
The imagine that, Winnie-the-Pooh versus Donald Duck.
You know what? That would be cool. I mean, I think it would be really, really cool to see two characters like that go.
Yeah. Can you imagine a live action of Roadrunner versus Wile E. Coyote?
You know what? And why not? I mean, Warner Brothers isn't quite old enough for them to have to drop their characters off. I mean, I'm sure it's getting pretty close. I mean, they came out in like the 60s, so there's at least like 60 years old, if not more. So, you know,
yeah, we'll get there.
And my other favorite question that I always ask everybody, and seeing that you're a big fan like me, what are your top 4, or like the US says, the Mount Rushmore of horror characters? Who are your top 4 horror characters of all time?
So top 4 are. So in 4th place, I'm gonna go Jason Voorhees. 3rd place, I'm gonna go. Oh, this is so hard. I'm gonna go Michael Myers. 2nd place, I'm gonna go. Oh, you're gonna be shocked here. I'm gonna go Pennywise.
That's cool.
Which
version? Tim Curry or Skarsgård?
Skarsgård.
Okay.
So creepy as hell. 1st place, Freddy Krueger.
Absolutely, Robert Englund. You know, he's iconic. Michael Myers, I know is one of your personal favorites. And so Skarsgård is definitely your favorite Pennywise of the two.
Yeah. It's just so creepy. It's just, such a creepy clown.
I loved him too, and I definitely was a big fan of Tim Curry's Pennywise. To me,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's iconic there. Absolutely iconic.
His facial features just brought that character to life. And
he's got that grin, the smile,
he looks like a creepy birthday clown too. So it was like, oh my God. Definitely. But I wanted to take a moment, and seeing we're heading towards the end of the show, to thank you very much, Craig, for coming on here and talking to me this evening where you are. It's been an honor and a privilege to have a man who has been behind an iconic character, which has spawned an amazing universe and is going to continue to spawn. And you were on the ground level, and I truly appreciate your coming on here and talking to me this afternoon.
Oh, thank you. No, it's been an honor to be on your show. Thanks for having me. It's been great to talk to you, and I look forward to meeting you in September.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to pick your brain a little bit more when I see you in September and sit down and watch it.
Yeah, come watch Bigfoot Primal Fear with me. And we'll have some fun.
Absolutely. So for the man, Craig David Dowsett, this is Jeremy Cotter. I bring you Twisted Tales, part of the Wicked Wednesdays lineup. Check out the rest of the shows this evening with Bridging the Seen and Unseen with Shane McLean, and Nathaniel Elwell will be at 8 o'clock with Paranormal Unveiled, and then watch the recast of myself and the wonderful Craig David Dowsett, as we bring you the rewind of today's show. Thank you, everybody. Gwen, take us home.